front of me, the Dalmatia the world knows about, the magnificent city of Split, the Dalmatian coast and the wonderful islands. And here we are at the gates of inland Dalmatia at the magnificent fortress of Klis, otherwise known as Marine for Game of Thrones fan. And I'm here to tell you 25 reasons why you should stay that side of the fortress and not visit inland Dalmatia. They make the most ridiculous claims about sport. Here we are in a field in the middle of nowhere, and this is actually officially the birthplace of football in the whole world. Behind me you have a game of football going on between the Romans and the Dalmati. Behind me there is a Trillium, which is a military Roman barracks from the 1st century, and there is evidence here that football was played here 2,000 years ago. You might be laughing at me, but in 1969 in the FIFA World Newsletter, as you can see here, it was featured as the birthplace of football. So is football coming home? Maybe, but not to England. 4, 3, 2, 1. Jedę za Rimljani! Значит, službeno ove ima 2, ove ima 3 i pobjednici su legende. The nightlife is terrible. If you're looking to party in inland Dalmatia, this is what one of the nightclubs used to be like on the road between Trilj and Imotski. This is a guy called Mirko Jelin, back in the 1980s, built this concrete ship in the middle of literally nowhere, and it was a bar, restaurant and also a nightclub at one point. It's been in disrepair for quite some time now. But on a serious note, the reason you come for nightlife in inland Dalmatia is for the peace and quiet. And you can go out in the evening in the towns, but really it's stargazing, it's listening to nature, it's detaching from the rest of the world. It's absolute paradise. A major reason never to come to inland Dalmatia is you'll never get anything done. This is some of the best lifestyle in all of Croatia, very much based on cafe life. Indeed, in Sinj, they say that they have more cafes per capita than anywhere else in the country. But it's not just the chilled cafe lifestyle here, it's a very, very safe destination. And along with my hometown of Samobor now, Sinj was voted as the safest place in all of Croatia for small towns, according to the Croatian police. Safety, lifestyle, authentic living. That's inland Dalmatia. You'll never win at football if you come to Dugopolje. One of the most interesting things about this place is this magnificent football stadium here, capacity 5,200. It's one of the few that is UEFA certified, so to hold international and European games here. And it's also a place where a lot of youth football played here. There's a tournament in October between 1,000 and 2,000 kids come down. They have an international tournament which every year has had the youth teams of the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, Roma coming here. And so it takes a special type of footballer, such as me, to shine on this stage. And here I'll show you why. It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, England 3, Croatia 0, it's coming home. The main reason you should never visit Grab is because they haven't changed their food production methods in over 600 years. Behind me, one of my favourite places in all Croatia, really truly idyllic nature. This is the last original mill still operating today. They're still milling flour as they did 600 years ago. And for a place to get out into traditional Dalmatia, it's just outside of Trilj. It's absolutely worth a visit. One of the main reasons you should never visit, you may get attacked by dragons. Here we are at Klis Fortress, the gateway to inland Dalmatia and the very famous setting of the Game of Thrones city, Meereen. And this is one of the real success stories of inland Dalmatia tourism. It's gone from 7,000 visitors to 120,000 visitors. It's just a bus ride away from Split. It's really, really well worth the visit. They put a lot of investment in here and the views are absolutely magnificent, as is the history. And if you want to get closer to your Game of Thrones stars, you can come to Cafe Belfast, and as you can see behind me, this is where they hung out while they were filming, with a craft beer or three. They have no idea how deep their lakes are. Here we are at the source of the Cetina, the source of life, the source of Dalmatia. Absolutely clear, beautiful, beautiful water source, which turns into the mighty Cetina River going all the way down to the Adriatic. People have been diving down here, trying to find out how deep it is, and it remains a mystery. And not only here, but also in the Red Lake in Imotski, which is also one of the most interesting lakes in Croatia. It was only in 2017 when a French diver managed to get to the bottom of that lake, 524 meters to the bottom of the sinkhole there. So amazing fresh water, amazing nature, and Dalmatia, why would you be anywhere else? In Sinj they have the weirdest sporting traditions which are way out of date. Behind me you have the statue to the Alcar, the Sinj Knight, and here we have the oldest knights tournaments in Europe. It's been going on now for 310 years every single year to celebrate the liberation from the siege of Sinj back in 1715. And you have all these horsemen, these Alcarin, that you have to be from Sinj to take part, and they have this incredible tournament where they have a spear, and then there is a metal ring called an alcar, and then they have to, at speed, put it through. It's a really sensational event. Happens in the first weekend of August. The 2 weekends before you have Bara and Choya, which are practice runs, and at 6 o'clock during the day, in the weeks before, they also have the practice, and that's free of charge. But it really is quite an unusual event, and it's always attended by the Prime Minister, President, and many dignitaries. Never take your wife shopping in Dugopolje because you may go bankrupt. This is potentially the best shopping in all of Croatia. Dugopolje was a small settlement 20 odd years ago and just off the motorway on the way to Split. And now they've built probably the biggest retail park in the area. It's a logistic park, it has so many out-of-store shopping centres, it's continuously growing, and you can really find everything you want here. Dugopolje has the highest rate of employment in the whole country. And it's definitely a place which is the fastest changing municipality in all of Croatia. And if you want to spend some money, this is the place to come. If you like your sports the traditional way, don't come to Imotski, because here is probably the weirdest football match in the world. Behind me you have the famous Blue Lake, whose level rises and goes down. Every few years or so it goes completely dry. And when that happens, there is an incredible game of football between the Imotski Elves and the Werewolves, played on the base of the lake. There's a football match down there. It happens every 5, 10, 15 years maybe, and then the water comes back up again. But absolutely unusual to have a game of football at the bottom of a lake. Never buy a house in Trilj, because you never know what you might find in your garden. So here we are at a place called Gardun, and there is a house here. In the front there is a very well preserved Roman military barracks called Tilirium, which dates back to the 1st and 2nd century AD. and there's probably quite a lot more around here. They haven't excavated everything yet. This is one area of the heritage of this wonderful region going back 2,000 years to Roman times. Imagine having a garden, planting some tomatoes and finding out a place where hundreds of or thousands of Romans used to live. They do the weirdest things with wine. This is an amazing region for wine. This is Dalmatia is where the original Zinfandel comes from, for example. Croatia has 130 indigenous varieties. Incredible wine story. But they do really strange things. So, for example, in Imotski, Vranjača region, they have a thing called bikla, which is young red wine with goat milk. And they even have a festival, the Bikliada. And I'm here in Imotski today, and I was asking about bikla, and they said, why not try our bikla panna cotta? So here we have panna cotta made from the milk, we have reduced wine, and then we have foam, and we have one brave Englishman who's going to go in there where no Englishman probably has gone before. Different, but quite tasty. When you've seen Beverly Klis, will you ever be able to look at Beverly Hills in the same way again? There has been an explosion just above Split in the town of Klis, which until 15-20 years ago was quite a remote backwater, the gateway to inland Dalmatia. Now, after its Game of Thrones fame, it's come to international prominence, but also the views out here are absolutely fantastic, and more people are moving out of Split, footballers, celebrities, and now there is a really big expansion of high-quality villas, swimming pools, sensational views, and more people are realizing that for a perfect Dalmatian holiday, you can come and have this, and then take an Uber into Split for 20-25 euros and have Split, and then come back to this, and have somebody come around, prepare traditional Dalmatian food for you, and really learn to relax the typical Dalmatian way. Beverly Klis, if you've not been, put it on your list. A major reason you shouldn't visit inland Dalmatia is infested with pirates. Here we are on the River Cetina, the source of life for many people in Dalmatia, one of the most beautiful rivers in all of Europe in my opinion, and a really great place to explore. And up here we have the fortress of Nutjak, which is just outside of Trilj, and this is one of the many fortresses along the coast here which used to protect Dalmatia against intrusion from the water and stuff. It's a beautiful place to hike up to. It has a really interesting legend about ravens, which I'll tell you about another time. Be careful where you walk in Dugopolje, because you may fall down a hole of 65 meters. That's what almost happened to Stipe Punda back in 1903, as he came across the quite incredible Vranjača cave on his personal land. This is one of the most important geomorphological sites in Dalmatia. It has 2 chambers, and if you're into caves, it's really worth a visit. If you're coming to Imotski, don't bring a BMW or any other car apart from a Mercedes. This is the Mercedes town capital of Europe. I guess the tradition started back in the 60s and 70s with a lot of emigration to Germany and so on, and it was really a status symbol to come back with a Mercedes. But this place is so known. We now have a monument. It's not exactly a Mercedes monument. It's a monument to 2 things: to the resilience of all the people that emigrated and sort of came back, and also this is the land, rocky, a little bit of green in there to grow plants, and that's what fed the people here in harsh times. But this is a nice combination. There is also a Mercedes Old Timers Club, and it really is a symbol of the town. And if you mention Imotski to anyone in Croatia, the first thing they will associate with is Mercedes. And now, time to drive off. They have no concept of a short walk. If you're coming to Sinj and you're into religion, there is a lot of fascinating things here to do. But on Velika Gospa, August the 15th, they have the annual procession for Our Lady of Sinj. And there are processions, pilgrimage routes from Bosnia, from Split. There's 148 kilometers of pilgrimage routes here. Thousands and thousands of people are walking every year from Split and so on. So if you're looking for a short walk, perhaps consider somewhere else. They think their cuisine is as sophisticated as Paris. Go to a nice fancy Parisian restaurant and you order frog's legs, really, really tasty, nice delicacy. Come to Trilj and you get the whole bloody frog. Dugopolje. Another reason not to visit is once you taste the famous lamb from Klis, will you ever be able to have lamb back home again? Klis lamb is very, very famous, and it has a tradition. As you're coming home from a journey, you'll see the gates of Split and you'll stop off for some lamb, or even at the weekend, you're at home in Split, you come out to the mountains. And here you have Klis Fortress, you have Stella Croatia we've mentioned, and you have the lamb. What a fantastic combination for a family day out. And as they say in Croatia, Dugopolje. Nice. The music scene in Sinj is just too confusing. For a small town, this is an incredibly vibrant music scene, and it has a lot of alternative stuff for young kids. So in 2003, the SARS Alternative Rock Festival started to promote small bands here from Sinj. 2010, you had the equivalent of Dalmatian Woodstock called Glevstock outside the village of Glev, where anybody can come and play. Originally just people from Sinj, but now elsewhere. We're here on Klis Fortress, and you have music nights at Klis, which is more based on jazz. You also have the Klis Jazz Festival, as well as the a cappella clapper singing throughout the season as well. And there's also music school here, and as you can see, and as you can hear now, you have the wonderful sound of guitar, and our good friend Nathan here is going to take it away. This is what we just found. We were just up here and this is what we found. If you come to Dugopolje, you'll be completely indecisive, because here we are at the Hidden Dalmatia Visitor Centre, which opened in 2022. And this is a place where finally they have brought all the treasures of inland Dalmatia into one place. You come here, you find out everything that's on offer. There is a bus that comes from Split directly to here. This really is the true gateway in 2026 to discover the magic of inland Dalmatia. In Sinj, they have no idea how to make the national treasure, sarma. What they make instead is, some say, even better. Arambaši. Looks very similar, wrapped in cabbage, but there's no rice inside, and its base is a mixture of veal and beef, and also a bit of pepper to make it more spicy. And locals swear by it, and it's used for festive occasions and every time a fat Englishman comes to town. Delicious. If you come to Imotski, you won't be able to walk to the beach. There has been an absolute explosion in luxury villas in the Imotski region since 2013, when a tunnel opened connecting Imotski to the coast at Makarska in just 30 minutes. And now you have a really, really nice, diverse option for your beach tourism, which is to spend the day at the beach and then spend the rest of your time luxuriating in the hills around Imotski in a traditional Dalmatian town. So you have the complete experience of the beach and then the complete experience of authentic Dalmatia. And we're here in Villa Red and Blue in Zmijavci, and one of the lovely things here is you have local hospitality. And so here we are with the famous Imotski cake and the homemade liqueurs of the family. So we have 5 to try. I'll get started. Cheers. Unless you're an adrenaline junkie, reconsider coming to Sinj. This is an absolutely fantastic adventure tourism destination. We're here at Sinj Airfield, which actually was the first ever split airport until 1964. And they have a lot of panorama flights. You can go gliding, and also you can go skydiving. But away from the air, on the ground, there's a very strong horse tradition here. They have the hippodrome, they have a lot of horse riding options. They have the Cetina Adventure, which is one of the most important adventure races in Croatia these days. It's been going over 10 years now. They also have extremely good biking, hiking, trails, you name it. Come to Sinj, there's a lot going on. In Imotski, the truly magical things are almost impossible to find. Here I am in the Imota winery, which was once the second biggest winery in all of former Yugoslavia, producing 22 million litres of wine every single year. Today there is a winery called Katić which has taken over, making a smaller amount, but the factory itself is in pretty much disrepair. Apart from this room, look at this. This is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen, really. It's a mosaic covering 3 walls of this room in the middle of this rundown factory, and it represents all the motifs of Imotski region. You have the red lake, you have the blue lake, you have pomegranates, you have sheep, you have grapes and so on, and here is tobacco here. This is said to be the artist Slobodana Matic, who was a local lady from 2 kilometers away, very famous artist, and her husband was a very famous writer. And over a period of 4 years, between 1976 and 1980, she put this together, 450,000 tiles. They're all tiny, of all different colours, natural colours from 5 different continents. It's an absolutely superb piece of work, and it's just been sitting here largely unnoticed. You can't really even visit this place without prior appointments with the Katić winery. But absolutely magnificent, and really blew me away when I first saw it a few years ago. They have no concept of the modern world. Going to Inland Dalmatia was a step back in time, going through wonderful stone villages that have been there unchanged for centuries. One of the nicest things that's happened in the last 20 years in Croatian tourism is the revitalization of some of these villages, as people have been coming now and seeing the benefit of showing this traditional way of life for tourists. One of the best places to come for a family experience is Stella Croatica here in Klis, very close to Klis Fortress. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you can combine the two. And this really is a combination of the magic and the natural beauty and the natural resources of this wonderful area. So you have this beautiful stone buildings reminiscent of a village. You have a wonderful herb garden with 500 indigenous plants and herbs from the region, which are also making local cosmetics, and they have this wonderful factory with all the local ladies are making traditional recipes and traditional products from this region. There's also an olive oil museum. There's also a wonderful concept store where you can not only buy, but you can try everything before you buy. And for me, for a family of kids to get away from modern world, combine it with Klis Fortress, I think it's an absolutely fantastic combination. So there we are, 25 reasons you should never visit inland Dalmatia. Have I persuaded you? With all this terrible tradition, culture, nature, gastronomy, adventure tourism, safety, kid-friendly destination, so much stuff here that if I haven't persuaded you, then please do come and visit. It really is one of the most magical parts of Croatia.